What it do, y'all? We back with another episode of Wrestling with Exotics. Glad to finally be back. How you feeling, man? I know you was out with a little bit of sickness for a while.
Yeah, I'm feeling way better, man. Kids, wash your hands. Don't do your dance.
That part, man. Keep your hands to yourself. Make sure you wash them every chance you get. Man, I'm excited to be back talking about wrestling. We done missed a few things like Survivor Series War Games and some other new returns to the companies. So let's break it all down, man. Let's get right into it. First return that we're going to be talking about is CM Punk's return to the WWE. Now, this was a return that everybody was saying was not going to happen. But in the back of my head, I'm like, WWE is about that money. And they also about them ratings. And they also about standing on business. So all them other little brother companies like AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, WWE is always going to show why they are above y'all. And by that, I mean WWE is going to take every opportunity to prove that. You know what I mean? Oh, you guys thought our relationship was that bad to where we couldn't reconcile and make this money? Oh, okay. Good. Don't expect it. So that way, when it do happen, the ratings go through the fucking roof. With that being said, I was extremely hyped to see Phil back in the WWE. It feels right. It feels like home. Of course, for him, yeah, this was a great business decision, and that's all it really was at the end of the day, was a business decision. How did you feel about CM Punk's return, bro?
I felt like it felt fake watching that shit on screen because I'm getting so used to seeing him on AEW.
Right? I was like, yo, this shit don't feel real.
But at the same time, when you asked me months ago when he got terminated, you're like, he's gonna come to WWE, and I told you he was because he's petty. It's not even, I don't even feel like WWE reconciled their relationship. It was also through reports that CM Punk opened up the channel of communication. So that, like I said, he's petty.
Yeah, he was going there backstage and talking to people.
He was going out his way to open up a relationship so he could do this return, so he could shit on people because he was mad. One thing about Phil, he doesn't like being shut out not on his own accord. So when he left WWE years ago, that was on his own. Like, I'm just leaving because I'm not happy with how you guys are treating me. AEW, he was fired, and even though so, he kind of got
twice.
He got to stick around because the first time they said he should have been fired, and there were people were mad that he was on such a long suspension, even though he would have come back. Now that he actually, because Tony Khan was actually standing on business and didn't want to just be looked at as like favoritism.
I do agree with him when he said this though. A wise man told him that to get the most out of this business, you got to leave. And you saw that crowd reaction when he came back. CM Punk is about to get twice the appreciation that he's ever gotten in AEW or his first run in WWE. And he don't even got to win a shitload of matches or basically carry all the weight that he was carrying over there at AEW over here. You know what I mean? Because you got Seth Rollins, you got Roman, you got Becky, all these other big names. So he can literally just go into a professional environment and just do him and chill. You know what I mean? He ain't got to worry about being champ. He ain't got to worry about trying to pull ratings or none of this shit. We about to get a good classic Phil, and I'm excited for it, bro. I also have to mention that a lot of the wrestlers that do finally come over to WWE, one thing that they all consistently say is how professional the environment is. And I feel like CM Punk has been missing that shit. All he ever talks about is how immature the environment is over there at AEW. You got all these young cats running around here thinking that they can do this and that. That's why he beat Jungle Boy up. Nigga, no, you use that fake glass, bro. We trying to wrestle for years, not for a few months, bro. You on a different type of time. So I feel like, this is also going to be better for him career-wise, and he might have a longer tenure here than he would have had in AEW. You ain't never seen Phil bleed that much until he went to AEW. That just off that fact right there. I don't think I've ever seen CM Punk bleed until AEW. I'd probably see him get like a couple scratches or something, but nigga was bleeding from head to toe. You know what I mean? In AEW.
Eddie Kingston, MJF, he was getting battered and bruised.
You name it. So, and I think him being there has also added even more credit to him. And him leaving at the time that he left was so key because, bro, he was just AEW champion, quote unquote. He was just holding the company.
I feel like him going to AEW reawoken his love for professional wrestling. So that's why he really went on his petty ways.
Yeah, because he could have went back home.
He went back out of his way to go to WWE because he's like, nah, I got in shape. He got even more shape. Cause I feel like he used the time from when he got that first suspension to get in shape because he came back the second time AEW. You could tell he was ready to wrestle more.
Yeah. Then
he used the time to get fired, and he's thinking, I could tell he probably was like, I'm still going to the gym. I'm still doing all this shit like I'm going to wrestle. I'm not going or not. I'm not stopping Tony. I'm not. No. I'm just competing against you guys and show you guys that you guys could have had me on your team, but you chose these guys over me. So,
yeah, and this couldn't have been a worse move for AEW, simply because you guys are already struggling in ratings without CM Punk. Now you don't have CM Punk at all, and all the viewership and everything is going to WWE, where we expected it to go in the first place. So, with that being all said, bro, how are you viewing the company today? Is the product still as interesting as day one to you? Like, how do you feel about it? Because right now, like, honestly, if it wasn't for this Intercontinental Classic, which we're going to get into here in a little bit, I probably wouldn't have any interest in watching AEW. I already don't watch Rampage because you can tell they don't give a fuck about that show as much as they do Dynamite and as much as they do Collision. Like, imagine if fucking WWE only cared about Raw and NXT and then SmackDown's the bullshit show on Friday. Like, come on now, that shit don't work. There should be
that late.
Bro, I tell you all the time, there should be fire matches on Rampage, especially with a name like Rampage. That should be where all the crazy shit is happening. Y'all should be lightweight, ECW, early SmackDown 2007 type days. You know what I mean? Like, that's where you should be at with it. But it's not. Like, how do you feel about the company, bro?
One question that stuck out to me when you asked is it as interesting as day one, and it's not because in the sense of I've gotten to kind of understand AEW way more than the first couple weeks when I started watching it in 2019. I was just like, oh, this is just new and it's provocative and it's just entertaining. It's different, but now it's like they're finding their feet and they're trying to, like, for example, how you mentioned the bleeding a lot. If you notice, a lot of people have been bleeding as late on AEW. They're trying to tone that down because they are getting a good distribution deal with Warner Brothers, and they're already in partnership, but Tony's staying loyal to them, and I believe that's what he's trying to work and get the streaming deal through them so he can get on Max, because he already has, I believe AEW All Access is on Max already. So he's taking the proper channels, but I just feel like right now AEW is in an awkward spot because, like, they did just lose Phil, but at the same time they're trying to, like, still reestablish that feeling of what made me and other people start watching them. And that's focusing on the young talents. Like, right now, speaking of the Continental Classic, I'm focusing on Daniel Garcia because he's losing. But I feel like this Continental Classic is going to be the reinvigoration of his career. To where,
man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You've been standing on business about this Danny motherfucker for a minute now. Like, you come on the show and you go straight to Danny. Like, I see what you're seeing, but at the same time, I'm like,
He about to switch it up, bro.
It's just bad timing for him. It's just bad timing and how he left Chris Jericho's group. And it's just like, bro, like, no, like, you should have started this shit when you was with Chris Jericho. You done did so much of this bullshit and all this other extra shit to where, no, you're not going over, bud. You're a joke. You're a joke. So you have to build that shit.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, these losses, because you tell, I think him being in this tournament is making him realize I don't want to be a sports entertainer. I had a win over Daniel Bryanson. I had a legible, pure championship reign. I was competing against Yuta. Yuta's going into being these main event matches. He got seatbelt pins over Kenny Omega. What have I been doing? I just been under Chris Jericho's, like, you know what I'm saying? Blackpool Combat Club is actually elevating Yuta. No matter how much I don't like him, or me and you don't really view him as like we view him as a legible wrestler, but we don't view him as somebody to put the face of the company. But if we want to watch a good match, you can say put him in the ring with somebody.
Not yet, but in the next 3 to 5 years, I could definitely.
But my whole point is that the BCCs have been helping him elevate his stature, not only in the ring, but his character-wise, and toughen him up, and giving him a little bit more something to look at interest-wise. Danny Garcia, he's learned from Chris Jericho how to entertain the crowd, but he already knew how to wrestle. So I feel like he needs to go back to, I don't want him to say he necessarily puts the trunks back on, but I feel like this attire he got going right now is not it for him. He needs to go back, redesign his character, get more on that technical wrestling side, and really establish the Dragon Tamer and all that type of shit. And I feel like towards his next match, he needs to come either this close to winning or win, or else everything I'm saying is not going to make sense. But he needs to start toward the end of the tournament. He needs to start picking up a victory to where they're like, yeah, they caught a hot streak, but it just wasn't enough because of those victories. And then like that sets the tone with him. Like, okay, I can't just half-ass do it. I can't just wait to. I gotta take it serious every time, and it starts with this fucking dance.
Yeah, bro. All that sports entertainment shit. That nigga Chris Jericho brainwashed him. But for me, as far as AEW goes as a company, it's not as insightful as when CM Punk was there. When CM Punk was there, like I was already watching AEW solely off the fact that Orange Cassidy was there and he was showing me a completely new style of wrestling. That's my dog. I'm gonna stand on business about Orange Cass. But then, you know, I seen Chris there and then, okay, they got CM Punk and Chris is doing fireballs and all this other extra shit. Like, AEW was exciting for a little bit for me. And now, like, ever since, like, even a little bit before CM Punk left, it just started going a little down for me. And it just seemed like they were having a hard time keeping up with storylines. And not only that, just keeping the interest in general. So, like, you know, and I come on the show all the time and I tell you how weak Rampage is. So, you know, I can't even watch a full episode of Rampage. And I just stopped falling asleep on episodes of Dynamite. So, like, you know, I don't know. Like, altogether, I just felt like the company was going down. And I think them losing CM Punk wasn't going to help them. And at the same time, they also signed all these old guys. And when you was, quote-unquote, trying to get younger and shit. So,
yeah, it wasn't fun. It's a few of the signees I seen.
You know, so, I don't know. I don't know what's a good way to rebuild the interest. I just feel like they got to get Will Ospreay wrestling, and then they also got to come up with some other good signings that's going to be able to help up the ratings and provide legible matches with your stars that are already there, like Jay White, Kenny Omega, Swerve, Hangman, John Moxley. Like, you need to find some other legible competitors that's not already in your company to go against them. So maybe go use more wrestlers from TNA, use more wrestlers from Ring of Honor, New Japan. I don't know, but you got to incorporate something because right now, like, it's hard to watch. In AEW as a show, they're not getting past 1 million viewers and ratings.
I was going to tell you, speaking of the Continental Classic, who do you think should win it? Personally, I think Swerve should win it. He needs to capitalize on this momentum off of beating Hangman twice, former World Heavyweight Champion, and then when you win this tournament and become a Triple Crown, that'd be a great way to have his own way of having a legacy. Because yes, he's still going for that goal of being the first African American AEW World Champion, but to be the first ever Triple Crown in America, in North America, outside of WWE, and be a champion in New Japan as well would just be a great way to cement Swerve. Just like from a full-on year from him breaking off in that group from Keith Lee to see everything that he's doing and the star power that, you know, French has been able to ascertain and been talking about. Like, it's just crazy to see him do everything and actually have him go over. And I want to see him win this tournament because it shows me too that even the match with Jay White really had my interest. Even before the bell rang, I just wanted to see who was going to win because I wanted to see Swerve win. And I was like, okay, they did Jay White. I know you weren't happy with how these things were in full gear, but at the same time, Swerve had a great full gear, and he doesn't deserve to take a backseat to you just because you are a legible talent outside of America and you're making your name in America now. Swerve's been doing that, and he's paid his dues, and he stole the show at the pay-per-view, so I feel like he should have won. And I feel like the way that they did that, they used a surprise roll-up, and I feel like in those instances when two competitors are very evenly matched and like you don't necessarily want to I don't want to see Jay White definitively lose to a stomp, and I'm glad that he was able to kick out because that saved a lot of legibility going forward with that because I don't think Swerve's going to be able to get that lucky on him next time. So Swerve was able to outsmart him because Jay was trying to refer back to last week how he was able to distract the ref and hit a low blow. Swerve was paying attention to the footage and was able to counter that, and then he was able to get their surprise roll-up, and I was just like, wow, you're not going to see too many people outsmart Jay White. So that's like, it's so many things from that match and just the finish of how it was, how they did it.
You saying all this just makes the case of why I told you he's been a main eventer, bro. He's been on this type of time. He's been doing this shit for an extremely long amount of time, bro. And I always go back to his days as Killshot, bro. This is the only black man in America at this time that's wrestling at the level he's wrestling and like a luchador. You don't see that shit, bro. He went to a Mexican dominant promotion and blended in perfectly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Swerve is that nigga, bro. He's been that nigga, bro. He is a main eventer. It's just these motherfuckers that hold down people with this complexion and not actually give us what we deserve. Like, for example, Bobby Lashley right now. Bobby Lashley should be a world champion right now. How are you the almighty and done everything that you've done, Grand Slam champ and all, and you are not? You keep getting held down and you're over here competing for the United States Championship. Don't make sense. But as far as who I think should win this Intercontinental Classic, it should be Jay White, bro. Consolation prize. We need a consolation prize, bro. And guns up. After that loss to MJF, that was an embarrassing loss. That loss should have never happened. Bro had a torn labrum. And you came and wrestled an entire hour after that. No, that shouldn't have happened, okay? And on top of that, Swerve has not been in that world title picture. You know what I mean? And all these wins is trending for him to be in that direction. So giving him the Intercontinental Championship or whatever is going to keep him from that main event picture. So by Swerve not winning this, it can help him stay focused on winning that world title finally. But by Jay White winning this, you can give him his consolation prize, and which is making him a Triple Crown champ and all that good shit, because you're not trying to give up that AEW World Championship to anybody, to nobody. You know what I mean? Like, not Adam Cole, not Samoa Joe, not Jay White. You're probably not going to give it a Swerve when he finally gets to you. So, yeah, just give my dog a consolation prize. And he's been holding it down for this long, and he's probably the only reason why your company's getting some type of spark anyway, because he's going out there and doing the things that he's doing to MJF, hoeing him, taking his belt, embarrassing him, all this shit. He's providing that for you. So, yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Give my man the consolation prize. He deserved it. You know what I mean? And especially after that embarrassing-ass loss, bro. Hey, man, I'm feeling like Denzel. I need to leave here with something. I got to leave here with something. What the fuck? I just came from being a world champion over here in New Japan. Like, niggas know who I am. They know I'm the man. You shouldn't have even beat me. So, let me get this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like if they give that shit to Swerve, and that being the Intercontinental Triple Crown, or whatever else they calling it, if they give that to him, then that will derail him from getting to his main event level status. And that's also why we don't see Cody Rhodes competing for the Intercontinental Championship. Shit, he's the one that eliminated Gunther out the Royal Rumble. How come we ain't seen them two match up yet for the Intercontinental title? Oh, because they want to keep Cody focused on that World Championship. You came here to be a main eventer. You know what I mean? Swerve is there to be a main eventer. You just did all that with Hangman. Why are we about to give you this mid-card belt? Come on now.
To be honest, we don't even know if it's really like considered a mid-card belt, because we haven't even seen the Triple Crown Championship. We've seen the New Japan Strong Championship, and we've seen that Ring of Honor.
I mean, but let's be real though. When that's being hosted on AEW, that title, whatever it looks like or whatever it is not gonna outshine the AEW World Championship. But that is the bread and butter.
What about the International Championship?
It don't, bro. That's literally like the World Championship in WWE. That's not the show's championship.
Yeah, I know it's not the show's championship, but I'm saying it can be defended with that honor. It cannot be treated.
No, it can be defended with that honor, but at the end of the day, we know what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we know, Seth, you're defending it with the same honor, but at the end of the day, we know what it is.
Consolation prize.
Because you can't do what?
You can't beat the one.
All right, then. So, that's what I'm saying.
You know, we ain't never going to give up a championship. We ain't never going to give them up. MJF, Roman Reigns, when they say greatness, you are witnessing it. And every time they're on the screen, man, it's just subtle things like that, man. He, throw the ones up. He hate the ones, but he fuck with the ones, because he can't not fuck with the ones.
Hey, but you know what I do fuck with? Guns up. Jay White.
So we're clear on either it's Jay White or Swerve that's gonna win this.
Oh yeah, definitely. It has to be John Moxley. I would say him, but no, bro.
Somebody's gonna get a legible ass victory over him, and that's gonna create. I see John needs to be in this tournament and used as like create storylines for down the lane. Like you know what I mean? Like somebody, because he's considered the ace of AEW. So like you beating him and fucking up whoever fucks up his momentum first, that has to fuck with John. Yeah. And be like, you're not. You know what? I'm about to come fuck with your match. I'm gonna fuck with these rules. And so that's what I need to see. We gotta see, and it has to be someone we haven't seen before, haven't seen them tangle with. So even if that is Swerve, or I would love to see him versus the Swerve or Jay White, just because those are like he's a loose cannon, and those two people who all three of those people can cut a promo, and they're all very passionate about wrestling. So we're gonna get a good match out of it, and we're gonna get some good backstage segments.
I was surprised to see Hangman not in this.
Oh, he's not gonna be because
simply Swerve is in it. They don't want to get at it.
Yeah, it's Swerve is in it, and Hangman did play his part.
But
Swerve,
he would have been a better fit than Jay Lethal. Or that other nigga.
He would have been a way better fit.
You know who I'm talking about.
Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston?
Not Eddie Kingston, the other dude with the long hair and the white pads and shit. Be doing...
Rouge.
Rouge.
No, not for Rouge, because he got the boobs, he got the fucking horns, bro. That finisher is insane. You was the bull, you get the horns. I think it's funny, but he be just saying, he be just looking mad all the time. He said... I be with the bullshit. I can't lie. He be making me laugh. I be watching the rest of these niggas. I'm like, look at y'all. I know y'all want to beat this buff nigga up, but you can't. And he posed in the ring like this in the middle of the match.
He's hilarious. Dude.
He's funny, but I want to see him get a push because Daniel Bryanson has a strong respect for him because he has a lot of intensity in the ring, and even when he competed against him, he made Bryan want to step it up. So
I almost forgot Bryan was in this tournament. I honestly wouldn't mind him winning because he hasn't won shit in AEW.
That's how I feel like that too. But I've also recently seen that in a recent Collision taping, he sustained an injury. So hopefully he's okay. But I think Bryan, you got to slow down. Like you're not what you used to be, and that's not disrespectful to you in any sense. You're like 42 or they're 43 years old. You got to be careful.
I think you just need to give his body a little bit more time to
rest. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Because he's low-key been having
sporadic back-to-back injuries.
Well, I was gonna say he's low-key been having arguably match of the years like all year. Like anytime that he has a match with somebody, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. But I don't feel like he's ever fully recovered from any of those matches because those matches are physical, and they're putting each other in submission holds for long periods of time and all that shit. So I feel like his muscles and shit is strained and not as strong as they used to. So I feel like
he needs to Zack Sabre Jr. again, and I need Zack to go over because Zack let you go over, bro.
It's over. You had your chance, Zachy.
Nah, because you didn't even beat me. You didn't beat me with a submission. You beat me with a pin.
It's okay. I still beat you.
Cat.
A win is a win.
Zap's gonna tap you out anyway.
Man, don't be saying that and then go over here and cheer for MJF. Because you quick to say a win is a win for that nigga.
A win is a win is for that nigga. It's different.
Then it's a win for Bryanson too.
It's a win, nigga, but you talk about being the best technical wrestler. Technical wrestler, but you does technical.
Hey, sometimes the nigga out. It get technical when you knock a nigga out long enough to pin him for 3 seconds. It get technical. Sometimes I might have to do a little extra shit to you than I'm used to. So, it can get technical.
Alright.
But let's switch gears, man. We was talking about the Bloodline a little bit earlier. You got them on your shirt right now. But that's not the Bloodline member that I want to talk about. I want to talk about ex-Bloodline member Jey Uso not being allowed to use the word YEET no more. And I'm just so fucking happy that there has been problems with him using this shit. Because why are you using this shit? You know what I mean? This word is from how long ago? Like 5 years ago?
Like 2014, I'm gonna say.
Like niggas stopped using YEET a long time ago, bro. And then on top of that, you're not even using it the right way. YEET don't mean nothing positive. YEET mean yeet, knocking a nigga upside his motherfucking head. That's what that shit mean, bro. You over here saying yeet for confirmation or agreement. Like, yeet. Like, and then get Randy Orton to say what you... I was like, Randy, you don't gotta put that over. You don't have to put that over, bro. Stop it. Stop it, Randy. He should have RKO'd that nigga for that shit. No yeet. That's the only time I'm gonna agree with Roman Reigns right now.
Roman Reigns is head hurt, bro. That's
what he said. Hey, Jimmy,
I don't like that.
Because Jimmy was saying in a promo, he called Jimmy right out the... Jimmy, no yeet, nigga. And Jimmy looked at the camera and said, no yeet. Most funniest moment on SmackDown television this year to me. But, yeah, bro, I was irritated with him using that word. I'm happy that he's not able to use that word anymore. And on top of that, I don't feel like the way he wrestles is built to win world championships, nor to be on the Raw roster. And I say that simply because his finishers are spear, frog splash, and super kick. Those moves hasn't got over to win matches since 2004, 2005. Okay? So you out here, and then you're not even doing them with the ferocity of a Bobby Lashley or a Shawn Michaels or an Eddie Guerrero.
So if you could give Jey a finisher, what would you give him? Well, in his body type build, everything that could be a main event.
Bro, you see how he do them Samoan slams and shit? How about do a pump up fucking like a pump up RKO or something like that, or just something cool like.
I think he should do a pop up super kick. You want to do a super kick, like throw a nigga in the high in the air and then do it.
That would be like a cool finisher, but then like I don't know. I need something else, bro. I need something else that looks dominating to where he's literally getting physical with somebody.
Or like that, throw him up, or he could do like. You see how he did the Samoan drop, how he catches them. He could
hell, maybe even a Death Valley driver, or like, or just something, anything but a frog splash, a spear, or a super kick, bro. You're not Shawn, you're not Bobby, you're not Eddie, and nobody wins matches like that. And I'm saying all this because I just watched his World Championship match with Seth Rollins, and he tried to spear Seth Rollins 3 times. He tried to super kick Seth Rollins a bunch of times.
Make the move look weak.
Bro, and then when he does his frog splashes, he don't even land flush on anybody, bro. So that I'm like...
He rocked the cradle.
The only place that Jey Uso can get by wrestling like that is NXT.
NXT.
It is what it is, bro. And we understand that you've been here for 15 years and all that good stuff, but... It's not it over here.
The only reason I think that's okay too is because they always tell you looking for your first single title. So what's the big deal? You'll get your first single title at NXT.
Yeah, it's no big deal, and you're also giving more credit to that roster. You know what I mean? Everybody is getting credit at the end of this. He's finally getting his singles title, and at the same time, he's giving credit to the people on the NXT roster. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like, I feel like everybody can benefit from that move, and especially him. And it can also allow him to really home in on his wrestling skills. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to be main event Jey Uso, but you're not doing any main event moves or anything.
Main event attention.
Right. You're literally just looking like The Miz. How he'd be like, I'm the most must-see wrestler and blah, blah, but you The Miz, so you're not. You know what I mean? Jey Uso, I'm main event, this and that, but... You get done up by every main eventer, and you don't have no main event moves.
I will say that promo they let him do and everything, that was getting me hyped. I was like,
yeah. He know how to make you believe in him. He know how to make you believe in him. But that's also why he'll get over crazy in NXT. And bro, imagine that NXT audience see Jey Uso come in there, bro. They gonna go nuts. They gonna go nuts for him. Pause.
Sean gonna book him right.
Sean gonna get him right for sure. Sean is about to be Booker of the Year. That's also why I'm entrusting in him to take on this job of actually making Jey Uso main event Jey Uso. Because right now, bro, you look like you just still wrestling without your brother in a tag team. That's how it looks like. Hey. You know, that's the bottom of it.
I like when you come out and do that to the crowd.
I hate that because the Street Profits do that. So it's like
Hey,
Bro,
Street Profits,
stop.
you're done. You're done. You want to be Bobby Lashley to the underlings? I'm innovate. I control the crap on myself. You don't need no niggas telling us what to do.
Man, bro, that's the dopest faction in WWE history right there. Those are probably the most 3 dominant black men you'll ever see in a WWE group together, bro.
I think so. That's true. But I need to see the win some titles so we can back that up.
The only reason why they're not winning titles right now is because they're so OD over as wrestlers.
They don't need to.
They don't even need to, bro. They don't even need to. And at the same time, like the Street Profits have held every tag team championship there is to hold. So, you know, they taking their little backseat right now for all these other storylines to develop. No way in hell should Finn Balor and Damian Priest be cahooting this long as a tag team. Like, you know what I mean? It don't make sense to me. And they should drop these belts to them when the time comes back around. And I don't even want to get into it, but the Street Profits and definitely Bobby Lashley should have more opportunities than what they've been given this year.
Yeah, so for my next topic, I just want to discuss, I know we already referred to CM Punk coming back, but I'm pretty much certain of who his first program is going to be with. And that being Seth freaking Rollins, you also mentioned him earlier. What do you think about that, bro?
I really cannot wait for that. But at the same time, Seth has too much momentum for him not to go over. But if Seth, like I want MJF to, really plays on this back injury, he should definitely be given that belt up. You know what I mean? You can't hold it down, bro. And now you're about to beat the best in the world. It would be different if CM Punk wasn't just holding an AEW World Championship at the last company, literally a number of weeks ago. You know what I'm trying to say? It would be different. But because he was doing that, it kind of gives him credit to go over on Seth the first time around. You know what I mean? But I also seen that they had plans to link CM Punk with Roman Reigns after that feud, which I wouldn't like because that means Seth beat him. You know what I mean? And if he's going against Roman, he's definitely about to get beat against Roman. If you couldn't beat Seth, bro, you're not about to beat Roman. It's not going down like that. Cody beat Seth 3 times. That's why he got to see Roman. Other than that, bro, it's not happening that sweet. But I just don't want to see him go up against Roman Reigns because I know for sure he won't win. But if he goes up against Seth Rollins, I feel like he should definitely go over, and especially if Seth's back is as bad as he's been making it out to be, and everybody else has too.
Yeah, he definitely won't go over. I feel you're my dog, big supporter. Just kidding, I'm an average supporter, but every time I do see you, I tune in. I do want to see you make strides in wrestling because you make wrestling better, no matter what anybody says if they like you or not. Because you rub people the wrong way, so they have no choice but to hate you or either support you, and that's a big part of why I like wrestling. So
and it's like he's not even doing nothing in particular.
It's just him being himself. They don't like him.
He stand on business about himself. Like, he don't let nobody hold him. He don't let nobody talk down to him. He don't play that. CM Punk stand on business and everybody hate that shit, bro. And that's why I'm never about to come out here and say anything bad about him. If he want to be booked better, he going to let you know. If he feel like you doing the most, he going to let you know. Like, and that's also why he's happy to be back in the WWE where there's some more professionalism, where he don't have to worry about a bunch of young niggas running around doing the most. Like Jack Perry, you know, like
young boy.
CM Punk is like, bro, I'm in my 40s. I want to chill. Like, shit should not be this hard or this, like, you know, messy. Like, it should be pretty straightforward and easy, relatively easy at least. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I'm happy that CM Punk is back. And honestly, whoever he go against, I don't even give a damn. I'm just happy that he's back here because he belong here, and he's about to shake up the entire face of the company, bro. Like, it's really going down. Like, think about it, bro. We got Seth Rollins, we got Cody Rhodes, we got CM Punk, we got Randy Orton, we got John Cena rehabbing right now, planning on a big comeback. We got fucking Roman Reigns possibly turning face. All type of shit is going on. We got a reboot of Kevin Owens. there's a lot of shit going down right now in WWE that's making this product more entertaining and exciting. And CM Punk just added levels on top of all that shit because of how controversial he is. And like I just said, he was in AEW weeks ago. Now he here. It's the same thing with Adam Copeland. Edge. You know what I mean? You was just there, now you here. That shit lit. Like, so, that, yeah, man, I'm happy for it. And speaking of returns, I mentioned Randy Orton. My man's Randy Orton returned, bro, and he came back in impeccable shape. I was like, damn, this is Debo Randy Orton. Like, when Randy Orton was like that skinny kid from, like, you know, the early 2000s and came out with the, you know, the wet hair and shit, like, okay, I'd rather fight that Randy Orton. But this version of Randy Orton, I'm going to have to bring a gun. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because he looked like he going to do more than RKO you. He looked like he can get Brock back for that one day when Brock cut him open on national TV and shit. You know what I mean?
Like so applying mean sleeper hooks.
Bro, no cap. And that's also what I would like to see in Randy Orton's game as he gets older, is him to bring out that technical side for real. Like, all right, cool, you slamming niggas and you got big, so that way it looks cool, pause. But I want to see that technical side. I want to see him put some niggas in some submissions and really flex the muscle. Like, nigga, you see this headlock, nigga, and this bicep choking you out. That ain't even. It's not even my arm. It's the bicep choking you, nigga. Like, I want to see Randy Orton on that type of time. I think it'll add more to his character and give him more longevity in the ring. With Randy Orton's return also comes payback. So he wants to get back on the entire bloodline. Anybody that was involved in that. Now, Jey Uso's scary ass, he ran up and was like, hey, my bad, bro. We good? I'm not with them no more. We good? Please say we good. And, you know, and Sammy's getting the pass too. But Jimmy, Solo, and Roman, no, there's a reason why Randy Orton signed to Smackdown when he returned. He wanted to get back on the bloodline. And I honestly don't see him going over on Roman, but I do see him getting his get back. But I want him to give Roman the same energy he was giving John Cena when he was kicking John Cena in the head, pulling his daddy out the crowd, kicking his daddy in the head, trying to blow John Cena up with the fucking the pyro. I need you to bring that same energy to Roman Reigns, because that is the only way you will get to number 15. Okay? And I heard Randy Orton say on Logan Paul's podcast that he wants to eclipse John Cena and Ric Flair. You know what I mean? And right now you're tied with Charlotte. So if you really want to do that, bro, you got to come with that energy, bro. You got to come with that Viper energy. Pause. Or it's not going to bowl well for you. You know what I mean? You're going to end up in the same position as a glorified mid-carder and just used to get these new stars over on some Chris Jericho shit.
Absolutely.
How did you feel about Randy's return at Survivor Series War Games?
It was dope seeing Randy return, just because there's a lot of speculation that he may never wrestle again. But I feel like Randy, just like we said, how Bryan Danielson needs to take more time off. Randy took basically a year and a half off because he hasn't missed that much time in nearly like 10 years. So I feel like it was overdue, and it was what his body needed so that way he could be successful. And I also noticed he was ushering that he's trying to spend at least 10 more years in that ring. So I look forward to seeing that out of Randy.
And I forgot to mention to you, bro, Randy also gave a big shout out to Matt Riddle and said if it wasn't for Matt Riddle tag teaming with him during that period of time,
he wouldn't love wrestling anymore.
He wouldn't have been able to wrestle anymore, because Randy couldn't take those bumps. You know what I mean? Matt Riddle was the one doing all the big moves and taking the bumps, and then Randy Orton would go in there and clean up, do his and do his whole deal after that. So he gave a big shout out to Matt Riddle, and the entire time we were saying like, bro, we don't want to see Randy tagging with him. But little did we know there was a reason, you know what I mean? And shout out to Matt Riddle for real for being able to hold Randy down that long and be able to basically put that team on your back. You know what I mean? I think Matt Riddle's outside shit eclipsed what he was doing in the ring, so it was hard to actually appreciate him. You know what I mean? But looking back on it, it was like, yeah, no, he low-key was carrying Randy. We just didn't like it because he was painting his nails and wearing booty shorts and making everybody feel uncomfortable and shit. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, nobody can say that man wasn't a good wrestler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Moving forward, one last return that I would like to talk about is R-Truth. And I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I do want to say, WWE, if you guys have respect for black people the way I know you guys do not allow R-Truth to be on national television acting a damn fool. Okay? That is extremely embarrassing for black people all over the world, and especially these times. Everything that we've gone through in the past 3-4 years in this country, like, that's the last thing anybody with this complexion wants to see on national television. The dude don't know where he's wrestling. The dude don't know what event he's at. The dude don't know what city he in. He don't know what locker room he in. He don't know what group he's involved in. He's just coming out saying random shit, looking lost, making a fool of himself, and it's rubbing me the wrong way. And I actually fuck with R-Truth for real. Like, that's my dog, pause. But that's the whole reason why I'm speaking up on this, is because, like, come on, bro. Like, you don't want this to be your legacy, bro. I talked to you about that on the show before. Like, your legacy, bro. Like, if we were starting out wrestlers, we don't want to do no lame shit or be booked the wrong way. We want to have that good legacy. You know what I mean? I want to have an upcoming like John Cena or, you know, like Eddie Guerrero or something cool. Give me something cool. Like,
something you can look back on and be hyped on.
Exactly. Or I can retire like this in this form. Like, R-Truth can't retire like this. He can't retire like this. Like, are you serious? This shit is a joke, bro. Tell me I'm not tripping.
No. I just feel like R-Truth just doesn't care anymore because he's like, I'm not going to be a mainstay, main event. I'm just here to entertain at this point. I wrestle with The Rock. I main event a pay-per-view against The Rock.
It's like, dude, like, you can entertain and all that shit, but you don't have to be dumb to entertain us, bro. Like Carlito coming out and we entertained just off of seeing him. He not coming out here doing no lame ass gimmicks or nothing, none of that shit, bro. He's just being normal. And if Carlito can be away from the company for 10 years and come back and be normal, you can too, bro. I don't understand how you went through that shit that you went through with John Morrison and it just made you snap to where you just want to act dumb for the rest of your entire WWE career. Like, are you serious? It was that serious?
I guess so.
He started, after that shit, after he smoked the cigarette mid-match and all that shit, bro, came out and started talking about Lil Jimmy's and all this extra shit. Like, I understood where he was coming from with that. He was like, the only reason why y'all don't, he really wanted to say, the only reason why y'all don't fuck with me is because I'm black, I rap, I got tattoos, I got piercings, I look different, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't pan out here to the little Jimmys and shit like that. You want me to be on some John Cena shit. You want me to, okay, hi little Jimmy, yeah, what's up little Jimmy? Okay, I'm going to show you. And it's like, okay, bro, I get you. Show them that. You can show them that without,
show them that.
No, but I'm saying, like, you could show them that without degrading your people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, making us look dumb. You're making us look bad. That's what I'm overall trying to say. You're making us look bad. You're stopping other black people from getting certain jobs. Because they're like, see, that's how niggas act. See? Nigga don't even know where he at. Mm-hmm. How am I supposed to expect you? For example, bro, like quarterbacks, bro. Like, bro, this is like the first time in NFL history most of the league is black quarterbacks, bro. But there was a time where they wouldn't let black people be quarterbacks because they're thinking we're not smart enough to do so. And R-Truth, when they see niggas like R-Truth, they're like, that's him. That's him. See, I told you. Coonery. So, like, come on, bro. Like, in R-Truth, like, you and yourself should just be like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
I never looked at him as a sort of, like, intelligence. I feel like that's more so when I feel like it couldn't matter. It's like if you're somebody that I know is intelligent, or I know if you're synonymous with knowledge or information or something positive to put people on, like forward thinking, and then you're doing something like Asback or like a full tray of jelly donuts or over, I'd be like, damn. But it's R-Truth. So he, like you said, he's rapping about tats. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's really not panning to the best audience, but he ain't helping though. He ain't helping.
Yeah. Facts. Last but not least, we gotta talk about who will dethrone Rhea Ripley, bro. I got a couple options for you guys. I feel like Nia Jax should definitely be number 1 on that list. Number 2, Shayna Baszler, and number 3, Becky Lynch. Now, going backwards, I would like to see Rhea defend her belt against Becky, go over, defend it against Shayna, go over, and then lose it to Nia for that to happen and make sense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, who would you like to see dethrone Rhea Ripley?
Honestly, I would like to see it be Nia Jax just because I feel like it has to be either her because she hasn't had a world title reign in a couple years, and I feel like she'd also be somebody to add eligibility to that belt that's not Rhea Ripley, or it has to be like a newer star like a Raquel or somebody that has lost to Rhea before, but like I said, is a new generation star and like is defending and making their name with that belt as well. Yeah. Because Rhea, even though she has that belt, she already has a name and she's beaten all the top people already necessarily. That's why they had her as a staple and as a spectacle, and they already had the belt in place ready to give it to her because they knew she was ready for the moment. So I'm looking for, I feel like that world championship in itself is supposed to be for all the women who are right there, but they need that belt to stamp them. Rhea didn't necessarily need that belt, so I feel like she's the first person to have it. It was perfect. So you just use her to be like, look already.
It's a good way to start.
Yeah, it's a good way to start. And then whoever gets this belt, damn, you got something to look up to.
Yeah, and that's why I think Nia Jax is the perfect person for that because she's the irresistible force. She's so dominant. She's started off this tenure beating everybody up and stacking up wins on top of that. So like I could see her being a dominant champion, and at the same time, I don't see anyone taking that belt away from her easily. You know what I mean? Just like we don't see it for Rhea.
At least 6 month reign, like I feel like
for sure.
Like I also feel like this belt is supposed to start off with like Seth's reign at least 6 months. So it's gonna be like a long standing reign. And Rhea at least 6+ months. So these championships need to start off with like, okay, these people gain like a sense of entitlement to and don't feel like they want to give it up for anybody.
Yeah, bro. And I can also see Nia Jax getting that title like after WrestleMania.
Definitely.
I feel like that would make sense. Like, because I'm going to be real, I don't see her necessarily as a WrestleMania main eventer yet, simply because she took all that time off and it was at her peak, so we couldn't really see her spill over. You know what I mean? So I feel like from now till past WrestleMania will give her a lot of opportunity to make that time up. You know what I mean? And then by the time is up, she'll be world champ. And that's what I want to see from Nia Jax.
I support that 100%. Now you're going to beat some people up.
Hell yeah, the irresistible force.
First some cavities, some chest cavities.
That girl Shayna Baszler tried to German suplex her, and Nia whole ass cheek landed on her face and crushed this part of her skull. Crazy. Also Mortal Kombat shit. Shayna Baszler hopped up, grabbing her head like, oh wait, bitch, she fucking just smashed my brain.
This has been another episode of Wrestling with the Exotics, the greatest wrestling podcast on YouTube. We appreciate everybody out there for tuning in. Make sure you guys also like, comment, and subscribe on this shit, man. Tell your friends about it. And at the same time, go check out our shop at pcfshop.myshopify.com. We got some gear on there for all the players around the world. Yeah, heard me. Again, it's your boy, the Franchise Kid, Franchise Jerry, and I got my dog with me.
You got any of the you want, but you can call me Cam.
Peace.